Good morning, everybody. My name is Caitlin Myers. Welcome to my video presentation. Today, I wanted to discuss Robert J. Oppenheimer and how public opinion on him changed throughout his career. Initially, at his outset, he was a respected scientist that was viewed positively by the public. However, as his political stances changed, he began to be viewed in a less favorable way by the public eye. Oppenheimer was responsible for creating the atomic bomb, a weapon of mass destruction that was used by the United States to win against the Axis powers during World War II. The change in public opinion on Oppenheimer was due in part to views on the dropping of the atom bomb changing once the later effects of it were better understood. Oppenheimer developed the atom bomb in secret for the US when they learned that the Germans were developing one. The goal was to develop the bomb before the Germans, so Oppenheimer worked under the assumption that the bomb's development was a necessity in order to prevent the Nazi Party from developing its own weapon of mass destruction. The Germans were defeated before they could develop their weapon, however, and the bomb was instead used to force their Japanese ally to surrender. Although Oppenheimer was aware that his bomb could cause civilian casualties, he claimed to have operated under the assumption that it would be used to combat military powers and not against unarmed civilians as a whole. The first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945 to force the Japanese to surrender, and the second bomb was deployed on Nagasaki 3 days later. Both were populations with heavy amounts of civilians. An estimated 100,000 died from the fallout, according to a newspaper article in the Daily Defender. The majority of these casualties were civilian and not militants. While Oppenheimer was initially awarded for his invention, he quickly became an outspoken advocate against atomic weaponry and criticized the U.S. for using the weapon against non-militants. Amidst Cold War tensions, his urging that the U.S. denuclearize caused him to face accusations of being a communist sympathizer. His security clearance was revoked and he was discredited, according to a newspaper article by Michael Billington in the New York Times. Another article by the New York Times, Texts and Letters on AEC Board Findings in the Case of Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, they found that members of the panel that had the Oppenheimer case decided that he had not reported fully in the telling of his findings. They stated that their findings on the H-bomb to be disturbing, wherein he admitted to having donated money to the Bridges Union, a communist-affiliated organization, and to having received funding from Thomas Addis and Isaac Folkoff, who had ties to the Communist Party. At the latter point in his career, he had become unfavorable to the public eye. The difference in how he was viewed by the American media outlets can give insight into the perspectives of the time. Thank you for listening to me in my presentation. I hope you have a great day.